made Mama hers. Saved me half a sandwich from hers. Got the old school pocket maker going tonight. So I got for me, I've got a pulled pork, macaroni and cheese pocket with garlic mayo as the as butter. Fat pocket. Ooh, it's hot. This is the last one, and I can sit down in my little chair and we can chit chat for a little bit. Give you guys a little bit of an update. In a few days. Still trying to piece a few things together. I did get the first podcast recorded, so just my part. Billy Boy wasn't able to get anything uploaded, so we're gonna go with my part, and then when he does get his uploaded, then we'll figure out how to get it edited and all that good stuff. He was going through some things through the holidays himself. That's why he was up here with us in Georgia. Hold on a second. So, anyways, so just wrapping up dinner. Oh yeah. There we go. Of course, I got the giant mess now, just out of one pocket maker, but it could be worse. It could be like 4 or 5 pans. I gotta set y'all down for a sec. That's unplugged now. Let me grab my other half sandy here. I probably need to go grab and refill my water. I'll be right back. Oh, excuse me. Still got some hellacious heartburn. Me and Mama had a stomach bug. Boy, that was rough. Let me get my water refilled. Kind of want to cut the beard off, but the more I want to cut it off, the more white it gets. Kind of liking the white. Mix the white? Maybe. Gonna be doing some Diablo 4 streaming. Haven't figured out how to do that exactly yet. Shouldn't be that difficult though. For the new season, getting ready for the new class. I already got the Paladin rocking. Old school computer days. I used to fall asleep on the computer playing Diablo. Wake up naked in the game with no equipment, no nothing. They rob me blind. Because you can't spawn back to go get your stuff. Sorry about that. Try and do this one-handed here. But I think that I got everything I need now. And we can go sit chit-chat in the chair. Got 19 people up in here. Well, welcome all. I haven't had a chance to read the chat, but I will here in a sec. Okay, yeah, we're good. Alright, got the little gnomey shelf behind me. Those are Mama's gnomes. Don't mess with Mama's gnomes. It's pretty cool ones back there, though. Anyway. Alright, Angie. welcome. Oh, Angie's gay. Got another gay one. No worries. What's happening, KC? See you in there. Am I seeing double or does that say 111? Alright, well, if it was 11, now it just dropped 8. Must have been 11. So. Alright, well, my content is not designed for children, so if you are a child, then you probably shouldn't be consuming my content. However, I'm not doing anything that would violate terms, services, etc., so I'm not too worried about it. I'm just hanging out, chit-chatting. So anyways, got the first podcast recorded, just 30 minutes of me just introducing the name of the podcast. Podcast is going to be called Off the Bridge, and in the podcast you'll hear why I call it that. A couple different reasons. Emiliano Official, hello, welcome in. VT Shadow 1, welcome in. Melody, welcome in. Make sure I didn't miss anybody. Alright. So, anyways, still been, like I said, me and Mom just got sick. We had a stomach bug going around, so a little bit of trouble there. She had to go back to the hospital. I was pretty worried there for a minute. Had to start contacting family and such, let them know that if they wanted to come see her before it got too late, they might want to do it sooner rather than later. So, warning, this stream contains nicotine. Nicotine is a harmful chemical, an addictive chemical. I'm going to try to keep it off camera as much as I can. My content was coins, silver and gold. I'll still talk about that kind of stuff. And also did some live auctions, which I will still definitely be doing at some point, just not nearly as frequently as I was before. But as of right now, it's my YouTube channel promoting my Spotify podcast called Off the Bridge, which I'll be uploading my first episode tonight as soon as I get done with this stream. So, and by the way, this is a movie prop. Kind of got into acting a little bit, so got some of these movie props here. So, although it appears that I am consuming nicotine, and I gave the disclaimer prior to anyways, it's totally a prop. Totally a prop. Anyway, so while we're here, we will continue to talk about where the podcast is going. I'm going to wait for Billy to get his portion uploaded. Hopefully he can drop in and drop his end of it after he hears the first side of it. Kind of make a few replies or an introduction at least. A brief introduction. He seems to want to stay more behind the scenes. Also, update. New news. I am planning on returning to the food truck in Texas. Right now I am caring for my sick mother. I'll be doing that for the foreseeable future. I don't know how long that'll be. Longer the better, I'm her certified caregiver. Now I'm a licensed heart saver, all kinds of stuff. So been navigating that. And then I got my 3 little nephews, 2 of which have autism here in Georgia. So Been hanging out with those guys a little bit. Just help my brother out. He, I don't know, he doesn't have quite the patience that I do for children, so. VT Shadow, my content is entertainment. That is my content. Entertainment. I'm in the entertainment field. So, I don't know if you guys have heard or not, or have seen some of the info that was recently dropped. However, I would say conspiracy theories and stuff would be part of my content, but apparently there are no theories anymore. It's all real. These jokers out there wildin'. We'll just say that. I'm pretty much the worst case scenario that you could think of. Alright, so we're going to try the old pocket maker out. Hi, Emiliano. Hello again. Welcome back in. Melody, welcome again. Oh yeah. Top 5. That's an easy one for a truck. I could have about 6 of these going. So 6 times 2. Bust about 12 sandwiches every 30 seconds. Especially if I get my boy Billy working with me. Which he definitely is down for the food truck. Yeah, I don't know if any of you guys came over from Rob's stream, but if you did, yeah, me and Rob go way, way back. Like 2 years pre-COVID back. So, we lived pretty close. Him and Charlani came out to the food truck. I got them hooked up. And that was before I found the accidental early release and all that stuff. Way, way back. I actually found a W in my tip jar. That was pretty cool. VT Shadow, are you listening? Doesn't really give me an option to type in the chat. Well, I'm streaming from my phone, unfortunately. But if you're in the chat, VT Shadow, just say yes, and then I will inform you of my content. My content is entertainment. Multitude of different fields of entertainment. But I do live auctions, except for I get into it a little bit. I taught myself how to auctioneer a little bit. Casey taught me a little bit too. Got a bit of 5 now, half now, half. Got a bit of 5 now, half. Gonna get 5.5. 5.5 now, 6. Can I get a 6 now? Give me a 6. And then, of course, you get the occasional booms. I also do some live coin roll hunting. Kind of niched my channel out to W quarters during the 2 years that the U.S. Mint was releasing them only through change, not selling to the public. So you can look back. I've got hundreds of, if not 1,000 videos. One of them linked to PCGS's website. Speaking of which, me and my legal team got together on Thursday, and they suggested that I reach out via email prior to having them pursue a case against PCGS. So I believe that they owe me the rest of the bounty, of the rest of the $2,000 bounty, because I submitted the first coins. I went through it with AI and my legal team, and neither of which could come up with a reason why they would be able to deny me. So we'll keep an update on that, and let's have to sign a non-disclosure, which I fully expect to. I gave them two options. I really can't speak of either, because if I do, that would kind of forego the need for an NDA. So yeah, we're also going to do cooking, and when I get on the truck, we'll be doing live streaming from the truck again. I absolutely plan on going back to Texas. I'm actually planning a spring revival just to get reintroduced to the truck, get the truck reintroduced to the people, and go from there. Got my old neighbor Kevin. Got back in touch with him, so he can help me out on the truck 4 days a week on the weekend, which is when I need help and when he needs work. So works out kind of well for both of us. So we'll go from there. So yeah, I talked to Terry, the owner of the truck, and the restaurant that we built together, and can't find anybody you can trust to run the truck without him there. So it hasn't been running, only for the few events that he has to do every year. Like, it's got 4 events every year that he has no choice, because one of them's for the mayor of his city. Two of them are for his mother, and one of them's for his sister. So they're like, it's a non-option for him. He has to do them. So he had to get the truck going again. They were running it out there in a pickup or in a van with the heat bags, and he just decided to go ahead and spend money and get a new engine on the truck and make sure it was up and running. So he'd sure like to get that money back. I made him, I think I averaged $700,000 to $750,000 a year for the 4 years that I operated the food truck business for him. That's his take. Of course, got my food costs, labor, truck maintenance, etc. But I mean, definitely at least $400K profit per year, year over year. He would sure love to get that back again, I've no doubt. So yeah, I'm not here for clicks or views. If you did get unsubscribed from the channel, resubscribe. I retained most of you guys on my channel, so appreciate y'all for that. As always, had some trouble, had some medical problems. I was talking on Rob's stream about how I almost died like 5 times. Started off with a shooting at the Tacoma Mall. I went to work for Panera Bread as a assistant general manager. Mostly so that I can learn some patience with training people, because I had none prior to that. I ran 4 or 5 different people off the truck. I move, get out the way. Hang on one sec, I gotta break this sandwich in half. One more. There we go. Whew. It's a greasy job, but somebody's got to do it, right? Might as well be me. So, anyways, working for Panera at the Tacoma Mall, Tacoma, Washington State, and we're just running service one night, and bam, 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 somebody popped off an AK in there, in the mall, not in the restaurant, thank God. So, all the customers immediately jumped up, ran out, left cell phones, plates, everything on the tables. Kids are freaking out. Most of the people that Panera hires are kids on their first jobs. So 16, plus years old. They have to be out by a certain time. They have to follow minor rules, etc. So they were freaked out. I went and locked them in the walk-in. Originally, I was told to bring them into the office, and I'm like, I ain't getting 12 people in this office. It ain't that big. About the size of an average bathroom stall. So, no way they're all getting in the office. And then I remember the robbery protocol from my training. So I just shifted right into the robbery protocol, moved everybody into the walk-in, and locked them in, made sure somebody had a phone that they could call me from if if there was an issue, and check on them every 10 minutes, until we got it clear. And then at the same time have to roll down the aluminum blocking walls that connected the mall to the restaurant. Didn't do much good for the front of the store though, because there's like 9 plate glass windows in a row. All somebody got to do is put one bullet in that, drop the whole window, and they just walk right in. So had to stay hyper vigilant, get everybody through that. That happened again 2 years later, coincidentally on the same night I was there. Closing. I was kind of the closer though. That's what I did. Always been more than of a late owl than a early riser. Anytime I had to open, you have to open at least 4 times a month. Anytime I had to open, no sleep prior to, because I couldn't trust myself if I fell asleep that I would wake up on time. Alarms, all that. Slept through them before. And if there ain't nobody there to open the store, big problem. So I stuck to the closes, and you can't cloak in, so unless you request to. So you can't close, then open the next day. So I knew that I would at least have a day off, or most of a day off, to sleep, whatever, go see my kid. Prior to having to return to work. And then once COVID was done, kind of rolling through, they all of a sudden my license issue became a problem. So they're like, well, either you're gonna have to take a demotion and a salary cut, or find another job. I'm like, deuces, I'm out. Ended up going to work doing helping out a superintendent for a construction company in Seattle, making 50 cents less an hour than what I was doing at Panera. I was like, man, I wish I'd have known this way long time ago. Oh, see, what's up? Good to see you. I hope the protests out there aren't getting too wild for you. Been seeing a lot of that. Thinking about you. But yeah, trying to get everything back on the up and up here and get things back in right direction. The food truck thing. My old neighbor told me that it's still sitting there dead. So I was like, well, let me give Terry a call, see what he can do. And he's like, yeah, I just can't find anybody else that I can trust to run it, Mick. So he's like, you're welcome to come back and get it. I said, bet. I'll be there. My job here isn't done yet. I'm in Georgia now, taking care of my sick mom. I'll be doing that until she passes away, unfortunately. But at least she doesn't have to live in a nursing home. You know, shithole place, bed sores, all that bullshit. At least she can die on her own terms with a little dignity. So, been doing a lot of training and taking educational courses to make sure that I'm able to do that job. Yeah, definitely good to see you, Ozzy. I'm sure you've seen some of the other lives that I did. Got some things I got to make right with a few people. Some of it my fault, some of it not, but we'll get it there. If I get this things work out the way I wanted to with PCDS, then that'll go a long way. That'll probably clear 80% of everything that's left outstanding as of right now. But we were running the numbers the other day, and we're looking at like $247,000 that PCDS gained in memberships and submission costs from the date that I submitted that coin until the end of the W program. So, because they did not designate my coins as first discovery, they gained much more than I ever stood to gain. So hopefully that holds true, and hopefully they'll just settle it out. And one of the things I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get the entire box, not designated to be graded as such, however, noted from the grading company that the entire box was accidentally early released. So everybody that got one of the Denver quarters from that box with a certificate of authenticity from me, you'll have a little extra oomph behind it, you know what I mean, with a public statement from them. So that'll go a long way for sure. I mean, multiple witnesses, the box was open live, you know, on camera. And then I live streamed, I think, that same night. And like 3 days later, Rob did a live stream with my stuff. So I was definitely going to work out one of three ways. Either it's going to work out option 1, option 2, or option 3. Either way, it'll be a nice little bucket fill to get things moving in the right direction. And also still trying to work my personal injury case from the bus accident that I was in. Buses don't have seatbelts. The bus rear-ended a pickup truck, sent that joker right through the parking lot of the gas station, all the way out to the other side and back on the road, and he just kept going. They didn't even slow down. But the bus punted that joker for sure. Yeah, I've been to the, I've had the MRI on my neck. I've got all but two of my vertebrae in my neck are herniated right now. So I've been dealing with a lot of pain. Manageable, through chiropractic. That's how I've been managing the pain. So, but I haven't been able to go because one of the other 5 family crises that we experienced over the holidays left me and my mom without reliable transportation. So, that being said, kind of difficult to get 30 minutes away. We're buried in a hole here in Georgia. Couldn't find me if you looked for me. This is like the quadruple secret hideout. For real, for real. Yeah, again, I got to watching some of my old streams and such, and I was like, man, how did I have the energy to open a restaurant, operate 2 food trucks, do YouTube, take care of my kid? Didn't even paid me. Not even a little bit. So, hope that energy of that time comes back. The passion is back. Not the passion to collect, unfortunately, because of the things that happen, but passion for entertainment and live streaming, being there. And that's part of why I'm starting the podcast as well. So I'm going to be uploading that tonight as soon as I get off of here. And I'm actually down to 15% battery on the phone. So, yeah, and I'll still do intermittent streams on the YouTube channel, I'm sure I'll get back into coins. Actually, in a really good spot to be metal detecting. I don't have any experience with that. However, like the Dahlonega Mint isn't very far from here, and there's a lot of old Civil War routes, that run around the area from here. So, I think I'm gonna get into some metal detecting, something new. Why hold it down to 1 or 2 things? Might as well just be a variety channel, I guess. Entertainment. Variety of entertainment. So that's where that's gonna go. But yeah, the phone is dying, guys. I do appreciate y'all stopping by and just hanging out with me for a minute. Good to talk to a few other people. Also, I just got out here, I've been out here like 8 months now, but the only friend I got is my brother, and we're not really seeing eye to eye right now. So that kind of is what it is. We're personable, you know what I mean, but we're not friendly at this moment. Another result of one of 5 family crises. So, if I do get some metal detecting finds, maybe I'll find it, auction it, something like that. We'll figure it out. We'll get there. I just want to provide good content for you guys. That's really all I ever cared about. Part of the community, provide good content. Let you guys in on opportunities here and there whenever I come across them. Stuff like that. One good thing is there is no gold and silver shops in this town that I live in. So, it might not be a bad idea. I might have to start a We Buy Gold. Definitely a bunch of places that have been recently abandoned, or businesses that have folded in certain locations. With the YouTube and the podcasting, even if I open up a storefront for We Buy Gold and Silver, coins, etc. Coin shop. I don't have to rely upon the business directly from that. So, yeah, that's actually not a bad idea. So maybe I'll get that rolling. Either way, when I do go back to Texas, that's where I'm going to go. When my job here is done, and we'll move back to Texas for a little bit and keep things rolling in that direction. And if somehow I can jump out in front of that and get my own thing going prior to that, then I'll definitely do that instead. But I would like to re-up my base. Didn't know how expensive it was going to be to live out in Washington, so way more expensive than I wanted it to be. But live and learn. Move forward. The medical stuff, I wouldn't have been able to control any of that anyway. So, I got bursitis in my knee, and then the boss man wanted me to do a concrete patch, which I knew how to do because I used to be a punch-out guy for a stucco crew way back in the day. I've done a lot of different jobs. And when I kneeled down, it popped the bursa sac and blew my knee up like crazy. They had to take like 5 different cultures of the blood, and it was going septic, which meant it was like not very far from my heart. And if that septic infection got into my bloodstream, I'd have been in real trouble. So thankfully that didn't happen. Did have to spend 4 months in a nursing home essentially while they treated my wound care. But they did it at a nursing home. So, which is why I'm in Georgia now, because I don't want my mom to go to the nursing home, because I've seen just how bad it can be in there. So, anyways, I'm down to 7% now, so I do have to jump off here. I'm going to catch you guys on the next one. I'm going to upload the podcast, so look on Spotify tomorrow for Off the Bridge. Off the Bridge. That's going to be the name of the podcast. Already locked it down. Just got to upload that first episode. Episode 1, Introduction. Give it a shout. It's just me chit-chatting just like we are right now. So, nothing different except for there's no video. It's just audio. So just pop an earbud in and whenever you're running around or whatever, give it a listen. It's only 30 minutes long, so it's not too long. The next podcast will be significantly longer. But, alright. Mickey Ross Manx signing out, guys. Happy hunting. Good luck. I'll let you know if anything interesting pops up. Peace.